You've had a lot of opening nights in your career. What's it like this time around with this group that you and the coaching staff have assembled? How are you feeling? What's your excitement level like getting ready for another year beginning tomorrow night? And thanks for hopping on.
I appreciate you having me and just getting me. I was walking off the practice floor, so we had another good day of practice today. And yeah, we're really excited to get it going. I think as you can see in our first two exhibition games, one against UCLA, one against University of San Diego, how important our depth is, what a luxury it is to have the depth, but at the same time, what problems that may cause down the line. I mean, I'm not still sure that Coach Dutcher knows who he's even starting tomorrow. And that's a good problem to have because we have so many good players this year. And they've worked really hard. They've really earned this opportunity to go out there and play well tomorrow, hopefully. And I thought we did a really good job of growing from our UCLA game to the University of San Diego game and then getting better at practice ever since.
What's that feeling like for you, knowing that, the coach of Long Beach State is someone you work so closely with for so long, and Chris Acker, knowing you look over there and he's coaching Long Beach State, and you're probably going to see some similarities with how they run their plays and defenses. Well, what's that going to feel like, and what's that experience like for you?
No coach likes these games. It's not fun to play your friends. We get really competitive. And he'll win at all costs. The same way we're going to want to win at all costs. But, there is a lot of similarities in terms of the X's and O's. I mean, Coach Acker was just an unbelievable assistant for us, one of the best we've ever had here. And, did a great job here, that earned him a head coaching job at Long Beach State, which these head coaching jobs are hard to get. And he earned the one he has right now. And his team is very connected. There's the defensive scheme is very similar to ours. Offensively, it's a little different, but defensively, I mean, we're going to be playing a lot like ourselves at practice. So it's going to be something we're familiar with, but at the same time, we know how hard it is to score on us. And so it's going to be a challenge for us, and it's going to be something that is going to feel very similar to what we do every day.
San Diego State, Long Beach State, Viejas Arena tomorrow night at 7 p.m. A game you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760. If tickets remain, limited tickets would be at goaztecs.com. So I go back to this offseason coaching, and you spent a good amount of time with Miles Byrd throughout that NBA combine process. Having gone through that and now seeing where Miles is heading into his fourth college year, how will this experience of the offseason potentially benefit him this season?
Well, I think what it's done is it's allowed Miles to, just mentally mature in terms of, what do the NBA want to see and what does he need to improve on this season for himself? And I think one of the biggest thing is his consistency, that we don't ride too many waves of great, games and then some games of not so great games. And I think just him being more consistent, he's been much more consistent at practice in terms of his, not just physical approach, but his mental approach. And he's the leader of this team, and guys rally behind him. And skill-wise, to continue to just take care of the ball, make smart plays, make the right plays, not always have to make the home run plays. And Miles has done a good job with that. And then defensively, he's just got to be himself, protect the rim, get steals, get out in passing lanes. He has such great defensive instincts. We don't want to hold him back too much, but at the same time, he's got to be smart about how much, what Coach Fisher used to call smart aggressive in his defensive play.
We talked to Reese Waters last week, and, it's like getting a new player. I mean, you didn't have him last year, and now he's back for you guys this year. And, his game, obviously, and the things that he's improved on this, year off since his injury. How big is it to have a guy like Reese Waters back into the fold here, knowing, this guy is just a bona fide scorer for you?
Absolutely. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was our leading scorer in our two exhibition games, against UCLA and University of San Diego. I mean, he's a guy that really can just go get a bucket. He's one of those guys that some days the offense, the team's going to be doing really well. They're going to be trying to take you out of your flow, but he's the one guy that you could trust that can just raise up and knock down a bucket. And that's a huge strength of ours for our team this year, having Reese out there. We've already seen it in the two games we've played. We see it every day at practice. His ability to score the ball is just an elite level. And that's the other part of this is he's an older, college player at this point. He's been through a lot. He's seen a lot. When he comes to practice, he understands what we're trying to work on. He can help the younger guys. And he's a guy that's he's had so many games under his belt and so much practice that this is really his turn to hopefully play the best basketball of his life as we move forward.
Dave Velasquez with us right now, longtime Aztec assistant, getting ready for San Diego State, Long Beach State tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So I've said this before about some of these recent freshman classes where they don't look like freshmen. We said that last year, I think, with Taj and Pharaoh. They didn't physically look like freshmen. They looked like guys that could have been upperclassmen. I mean, you say the same now watching LZ Harrington and watching Tay Simmons, just seeing how they've been incorporated and what they've, how they've impacted these games, these exhibition games. How do you feel about that group, LZ and Tay, and their potential impact to start the year?
We never really know with freshmen, but I will say this: with last year's group, with Taj and Pharaoh, we did not expect them to come in and basically what people would say, wait their turn. We expect them to be on the floor, be players for us when they got here. And there's a level of talent, and there's a level of what we've seen for when they got in high school, and then when they get here. And there's no difference with LZ and Tay. And you've seen it already. I mean, Tay's ability to be physical, to rebound the basketball, to play with his high motor. When things start, the more games he gets under the belt, the more comfortable he'll be. And the hardest positions to play in college basketball is actually is being a big. That you learn so much through the time of being out there, through game reps. And I know he'll continue to get better. And then LZ Harrington is just, he can do so much with that great size. He has an unbelievable change of pace, and he has a high basketball IQ. So as a freshman, again, you can trust that you can put the ball in his hands. I thought the University of San Diego game, he did a really good job playing a point guard position for us. I mean, just his ability to get in the paint, make plays for others, play downhill. And then defensively, he's blessed with the length and athleticism that he can make plays defensively. So, yeah, we're excited about both of them. We're expecting both of them to be great contributors this year.
When we talked to Dutch last week about the depth of your team, I mean, you mentioned, you said, I don't even know if Dutch knows who's going to start on tomorrow night. But, navigating that and knowing you have so many pieces that could play significant time as a coaching staff, how much conversations do you guys have about all the different scenarios and lineups that you guys could deploy this year?
A lot, to be honest. We kind of got to let the first two games happen. In the first two games, we basically, 5 guys in, 5 guys out. And then we're trying to get 11th guy in quite a bit in that first half. So we've talked about it a lot, and, who's going to play well with who. And, it's not an easy job for Dutch this year. I mean, you've seen the talent we have, and now you got to throw in another wrinkle. We're not going to have him tomorrow, but then what happens when Magoon comes back? We talk about that a lot. You're talking about an all-league player. And so, and it's going to be different for each guy. And what the thing that I'm excited about, and we've had other deep teams here. I'm not sure if we've had as deep of a team, but we've had other deep teams here. Sometimes it's just not your night. And to have somebody else that can be there, and it could be their night. And I think you're just going to see it a lot throughout the year. There's going to be a lot of different guys talking to John Schaeffer after the game, who's the player of the game, which is a good thing to have. And you just don't know. And it doesn't mean if you don't start, that can't be your night. And I think that's what we'll find out throughout the year. And, it's going to take it's going to be a huge mental approach from our team to deal with that. That's not going to be easy. We went into the last season, and I'm not sure how many times, if maybe once or twice, we've even changed the starting lineup. I don't think this year's going to be like that. I think there's going to be times where we start a group and then we come out at halftime and there's a different group out there. It's just that type of team that we have this year. And so again, to answer your question, honestly, we talk about this stuff all day long, in the offense, about when we start talking about substitution patterns and who's going to start, and all those type of things. But it's a great problem to have, but it's not going to be an easy one for Coach Dutch and the rest of the staff.
Dave Velasquez with us right now. Is it one of those things, and maybe this is a dumb question, but I feel like people get so wrapped up in who starts, but at the end of the day, isn't it just as impactful to be finishing? I mean, I go back to like the national championship game. I don't think 5 starters are on the floor, right? Like, so it's a 40-minute game. It's not baseball where there's one starting pitcher and the guy goes 7 innings. I mean, you could start, play 4 minutes, but somebody else could play more minutes in the first half, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to the most famous game we ever played in, the Florida Atlantic game. The guy who made the shot before Lamont, Jalen Ledee, he didn't start.
Right.
The guy who was guarding the guy that ended up getting switched on to AG was Micah Parrish. He didn't start. The guy who blocked the shot before Lamont's shot was at Wickarope. He didn't start that game. And that's what I mean. There's this, the impact that all these guys can have, and it doesn't matter who is starting. It's, obviously the 5 guys that are playing that best tonight will be finishing the game.
Sure.
And that's a coach's job to make sure we do. But we can't go into every game like, okay, that's starting groups, the best 5. We don't know that. And that's something that we're going to try to find out throughout the year. And I'm sure there'll be some, type of flow. And you want to keep guys in some type of rhythm, throughout a season, and we'll get to that. But it's not for right now. Right now is they're continuing to earn what they get, and I think that will be something that will happen throughout the season. They will earn whatever opportunities that come to them.
Do you know what year this is for you at San Diego State, or if you lost track? I have your bio in front of me. Do you know what season this is about to be?
Is this 23 or 24?
It says 24, so if it's not, yell at Richard.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no, it is. It is.
24.
I was having to do some math last night. My parents always flying for the first game, and we were talking about that last night. So I couldn't feel like I'm the most blessed, lucky coach to have 24 season openers at San Diego State, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Been a nice little 24-year run for the Aztecs on the Mesa. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's been a nice little 24-year run. Dave, appreciate you as always. We will see you tomorrow night. Cannot believe it. Tomorrow night, we'll see you and Aztec fans at Viejas Arena. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys. We are equally as excited, and go Aztecs.
All right, great stuff from Dave Velasquez. In fact, call right now. We have 2 free tickets for you. Caller 2.
Oh,
caller 2. Call right now. 877-767-4760. Our gift to you. 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs take on Long Beach State tomorrow at 7 at Viejas Arena.
a gift
A gift
for you.
to you. Caller 2.